So today, so the very first thing that you see is GCP DevOps, right? So we know most of the things, and we had heard people talking about DevOps, right? So, what is DevOps? Right? So just a quick one-liner. If you say DevOps is no tools, no technology, so it's just a philosophy, right, between two different teams, that is developers and operations team. And when they collaborate, you need some principles, right, that should adhere to their work. And that is where this DevOps philosophy comes in, that helps an project or an organization to streamline themselves into their work in a collaborative way between multiple teams, right? And then they start to work, right? And the process becomes streamlined and smooth. So you might ask me, then we hear a couple of tools, right? Be it Kubernetes, Docker, Jenkins, and whatnot, right? So what are those then? So I would say that those are the tools that facilitate this philosophy, right? So if you want to walk a 100-meter race, right? If you want to run a 100-meter race, so that race is the winning, that race is your objective, right? But you need to practice for that race, right? You need to use some, maybe some tools, right, that would facilitate you to win that race. Like that, DevOps is again that philosophy, right? That is required in your organization to collaborate between your developers team and your operations team, right? So that is where DevOps stands, right? And why do we say GCP? So you might be knowing that there are cloud solution providers that are there in the market, right? So there is public cloud service providers as well as private cloud service providers, right? When I talk about public cloud service providers, I mean that there is AWS, there is Google, there is Azure, right? And private can be something hosted maybe in your organization only for your usage, right? Which is not used, or not, which is not opened up in the internet for everyone to use. So that is a segregation of private and public. And in this course, we would be specifically learning uh, the components of GCP in the field of DevOps, how we can follow that philosophy with GCP resources. And supporting to that, we'll learn both GCP resources as well as uh, the other tools that are there, right? We will go and see what are the tools that we would be picking up. And once we start the course, we go deep into most of the tools, and we learn them both bit of understanding the logics, and then going into the hands-on, and then taking projects, or yeah, taking projects as homeworks, right? Now, any doubts up till here on the objective that what we would be learning in this course? Okay. If no, then I can go ahead and then park again in between. Uh, right. Okay. So this is what I have expertise of. So let's not. Uh, there's nothing much to discuss on this. So okay. So end of this course. So what you would be mostly calling yourself, or mostly you will be titled of calling yourself a DevOps engineer, right? And also, additional to this, you can also be added as a cloud engineer, right? So you need specific skill set that is highly demanding in the market, as in terms of DevOps job opportunities that are there. So you can apply for DevOps roles in any organization, as well as you can also apply for GCP cloud related roles, maybe cloud admin or cloud uh, DevOps, or in this sort of roles you would be putting yourself in, right? Now, as I was discussing that what is DevOps, right? And you also get to hear that lot of those tools that I had named earlier, right? Maybe Git, maybe Ansible, maybe Kubernetes, maybe Jenkins, right? So if we talk about a single term DevOps, then what are these specific terms that we get to hear, right? So as I did explain that these are the tools or these are the technologies that will facilitate of you to attain a collaborative approach following the principles of DevOps, right? So DevOps ultimately stands as a philosophy, means it's a guidebook to you to have a streamlined process in your organization in attaining a collaboration between your developer team as well as in your operations team, and you are using these tools to automate or streamline your entire process. So in this journey, there would be multiple stages that we would be learning, and each of those stages that we would be learning starting from CI to C, right? So mostly we would be picking up each of these tools and understand on which problem will that tool solve, and then understand its functionality, right? Both in terms of, I would say, learning first the how the tool performs, and then doing hands-on, and then doing projects out of it, right? That is the core focus that we do over here, right? So it's again few a lot of tools uh, that we see. So a quick pointer on why do we need to learn DevOps. You might have, everyone is well accustomed, right, or well familiar of why do we in this 21st century, and why do we need to learn DevOps, right? So it is one of the top skills that employers are looking for in the industry right now. Be it any trends that you see, be it on Business Insider or Forbes, right? You see one of the highest paid, highly paid job now present in the industry, maybe after full stack, would be DevOps, right? And each and every team in your in the organization, right, do need one or two DevOps engineers. So I would say the capacity over there is huge, but we do not have much qualified or knowledgeable engineers there out in the market yet. So the demand and supply curve is always uh very high over here, right? You have high demand but low supply. So it's a good I would say a starting point or a platform where you get to learn all the things, and then you can explore it yourself out in the market, right? So this is where we can help you to attain that path, right? So second would be well, you know that it's one of the high jobs as per the survey, be it you Indeed or LinkedIn or Glassdoor or Quora, whatever modern sites that we can refer, right? And all companies making software delivery better constantly and continuously at an enormous pace, right? So as I told you, so each and every organization do require DevOps now in their projects or in their organizations to have a good delivery to their clients, right? Or I would say not good delivery. We used to say good delivery back in the 90s or 20th century, but it's now efficient delivery and continuous delivery that we are most of the projects or most of the organizations now are there or want to focus more on, right? So it is continuous as well as effective, right? It cannot be something that you deliver comes out as a disaster to your own organization. That is not supported, because end of the day, it's not only the hard work that all the team members do put in, but it's also there's a financial uh, outcome that also gets played out in the industry, right? So it does solve on the both sides. So moving along, so everyone needs DevOps. So we had already uh, thought and talked about it. A quick note on why me. I know this might be a bit of uh, boring of why do you only need to learn, right? So why me? I have more than 100 years of experience now in teaching people. I have more than 8 years of industry experience. So yeah, I can help you to attain the your path in learning those technologies, and I would be able to both solve and help you in your projects. And not, I would not say that whatever projects that you are working in, maybe not directly, but yes, we can discuss on what are the problems that you face or what are the next uh, things that you can learn to go ahead in your career, right? So let's just move ahead a bit. So we now know what is DevOps, right? Mostly, and let's go ahead a bit into learning or understanding what are the tools that we would be learning in this course, right? And I think you all have the syllabus with you guys. And if you do not have, please reach out to the Visualpath team uh, related to the syllabus, right? So a quick thing on what we would be learning in this course. So the very first thing that we would be learning the code repository or a version control system that we call it Git, right? Or GitHub. Second, we would be learning Ansible, right? Why Ansible? Ansible is a configuration management tool. So we would be picking up that, right? Third would be we would be taking up Docker. So if you don't see a few of the images, don't think that we are not learning those. So you will have that detailed of the subtopics that of the tools that we would be learning in the syllabus. So please do get a touch of it and look into it, right? So the next thing for containerization, we would start with the basics of Docker and we would learn Docker, and then we would move into the orchestration platform, that is Kubernetes, which is getting widely used now in the organization. So we would learn Kubernetes now to automate this infrastructure life cycle, or instead of doing it manually, right? We industry has taken up a new tool known as Terraform to automate their infrastructure deployment. So we would learn Terraform. Next, to have this facilitation of CI and CD, we need a build tool or an orchestrator tool out there. So we would be learning Jenkins, right? And before we get started into all of these, I specifically there's an added tool that we would be learning is Linux and shell scripting, because most of the servers or most of the machines that we would be using out over there would be Linux boxes. So we will do a refresher on Linux if you're not much accustomed on with that, right? Because most of us are being using Windows as our main system, right? So and work perspective, we would need to learn Linux, and then uh, we need to take up a bit of any of automation uh, shell scripting language. So we would learn shell script a bit, right? Because whenever we talk about DevOps is sync with automation, right? And when we talk about automation, we require any of programming language, be it Python, shell script, or Go, right? So we would take up or learn a bit of shell script out here, right? Because that will ease out a lot of tasks when you work practically or when you sit for opportunities out there. So it will give you an upper hand. And last but not the least, we would learn Google Cloud, right? Not extensively like a Google Cloud administrator, but we would pick up the most of the used resources that we require for DevOps, right? Be it the GCP compute, the load balancers, the storage, then coming to the GCP DevOps part, be it GCP Cloud Build, GCP Artifactory, and all, right? So most of our base infrastructure or most of the resources that we would be talking to would be on the Google Cloud platform. So if I talk about, let's say, Kubernetes, right? When we understand the fundamentals of Kubernetes, then we would do the hands-on on GKE, right? Which stands for Google Kubernetes Engine. So likewise, so our base platform that we would be learning and utilizing over here would be Google Cloud platform, right? Yep. So I think I can park here for now. Now, if you have any questions related to any doubts that is coming to your mind, feel free to unmute yourself and we can go ahead and ask the questions. So mostly it would be 50 to 55, ranging to that hour. So mostly 2 months, I would say, because we have a wide variety of topics to complete. So nearly 2 months, I would say. Timings. So mostly as far I am aware of, it would be from morning 8 to 9, but we have not yet fixed on the timings or the slots. But as you can think of as 8 a.m. in the morning to 9 a.m., 1 hour each day. Maybe Saturday and Sunday we can take in holidays, but mostly, yeah. Yeah, 5 or 6 days maybe. Yeah, but Sunday would be a leave. Yes, that's for sure.
Can we take for 2 hours at least?
Uh, Definitely, Anil, that we can decide. So as I said, that is not yet registered or that is not yet confirmed. So slots and timings, we will definitely uh, we can decide.
Yes,
Yeah, hi.
uh, I have a small question. After, at the time of doing, we are going to implement practically or is just theoretically? Because, nowadays people asking for the just directly create the pipeline with the help of some kind of Docker or, GCP. So we are covering that part, practical things, live labs basically.
Yes, yes. So there's no point learning a technology or learning a tool theoretically. That is only for your understanding. But yes, we do it hands-on in the classes also, and there is work or task given out to you for your own practice, right? So yes. Okay. Everyone, if you have not put in your mail ID and contact number, you can draw put that maybe in the chat, or you can also reach out to the Visualpath team, right? That's just a quick note for everyone. Okay. I think if you do not have any further questions, uh, I think we are good to wrap up.
Thanks, Akash.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for joining in and have a great day ahead. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.
Yeah, yeah, bye bye. Same to you.